Please be seated. All right, good evening everyone, and welcome to the 2019-2020 National Honor Society induction. My name is Isabel Mullally, and I'm the current president of Neenah High School's National Honor Society. Thank you all so much for being here tonight to celebrate the outstanding young men and women being inducted. National Honor Society is a nationwide program, and today our inductees will be joining over 1 million other high school students involved with this program. The students sitting here tonight exemplify National Honor Society's core values of leadership, scholarship, service, and character throughout all aspects of their lives. Tonight, you will have the pleasure of seeing Neenah High School's best thinkers, leaders, and achievers. Before we begin our celebrations, please rise if you are able to for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. To begin this celebration, I am pleased to welcome our first speaker of the night, Neenah High School's principal, Mr. Brian Wunderlich.
Thank you and good evening. Before I begin, let me just start by saying congratulations to our newest members. And I provide a little bit of a historical background with regards to National Honor Society. This is their 98th year of existence. So as you think about that, things that last that long obviously have to have a tremendous amount of value, particularly in a society where things are constantly changing. So Isabel talked a little bit about the 4 pillars, and there's going to be 4 speakers here tonight that are going to do an amazing job of defining scholarship, leadership, service, and character. And they'll do a much better job than I would of giving you a definition. And when they're doing that, I encourage you to do 2 things. Obviously, you're here tonight because you've demonstrated those things in one way or another. And some of you are seniors, and I was thinking about this driving over here. I don't know for sure, but you probably have like 100 days left, school days left in your high school career. 100 days. And you could think of that as next to nothing, or you could think of like, what can I accomplish in the next 100 days to make sure I absolutely leave a legacy at Neenah High School that will propel me into my future. Juniors, you obviously have a little bit more than that, but the time will fly. You talk to a senior and you wouldn't believe that you're at holiday break before you get to graduation. So as you're listening tonight to our 4 speakers talk again about scholarship, leadership, service, and character, I want you to do I'd like you to do 2 different things. One, Think about what you're going to do with your time left here at Neenah High School in those 4 areas to make sure you are leaving a legacy. And then maybe more importantly, think about how these things are going to propel you for lifetime success. Because I'll tell you, as a man who's much older than I care to admit, these are things that you need to be successful in life. Scholarship, the ability to learn. I left my office and ran home quick because my wife said that the washer wasn't draining. So I Googled it real quick and I watched the video and I solved it and was back here in time. Scholarship. I'm slightly shocked that it all worked. It's probably flooding my house right now. Leadership. The world is void of great leadership right now. I have the highest of hopes because I get to be around amazing kids like all of you each day. But there's a clear vacuum and lots of opportunities for great people like you to step in and make the world a better place. Service. At a time of year where many of us think about the things we get and we finally get a time to relax a little bit, there are many people who don't have the things that we're oftentimes grateful for. So what are we doing to try to even that out and take care of those who maybe need a little taken care of? And finally, character. People who do the right thing when nobody's watching. You have demonstrated those, and you'll have new tests as you move forward. Continue to demonstrate those because you'll make the world a place that you want to be in and other people will follow. So I appreciate you inviting me out here tonight, and congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wunderlich, for those great thoughts about the 4 pillars. To talk a little bit more in depth about those pillars, we're going to have students come up. So first, talking about the pillar of leadership, Neenah High School senior Megan Newbrick.
What defines a leader? Personally, I feel like leadership is a word that most people misinterpret. Throughout the years, leaders have been defined as the headstrong, exuberant people who take on tasks head-on and dictate what others do based on the title they were given. Leaders must have a position of power. Being a leader means power. However, a true leader embodies much more than just power and passion. A strong leader can listen, be attentive, and work with others to achieve the intended goal. Leadership can be defined through 3 steps: taking the lead, learning to listen, and encouraging learning. The members of National Honor Society have already completed the first step. In order to be inducted, we all must discuss different leadership experiences we've had. The next 2 steps are a little bit more challenging. Being open to others' ideas can be hard, especially in this day and age. But true leadership stems from everybody within a group. I bet you all know of a leader you have seen abuse power or ignore others. Leaders who call all the shots and make every decision solo tend to lose connections with the people they're working with. Taking time to work with a group instead of for a group makes all the difference. Once listening and teamwork has been mastered, there is another step that leaders must learn: to fully embody the idea of leadership. We aren't going to be here forever. Some of us are seniors. We're going through our last year of high school, our last sports season, our last musical, our last everything. For many, we have had positions of leadership here. What would happen if you left and no one knew how to continue from where you left off? A strong leader knows when it's time to take a step back and encourage others to step up and lead, even before their time is over. As leaders, we become role models for everyone else. In order for a legacy to continue, a leader must provide a toolbox for the next generation to continue traditions. Leadership comes easy to some and can be extremely hard for others. Knowing the facets of leadership refines the leaders and opens the door for growth. Whatever you lead, remember to lead it with your heart, listen to others, and inspire new leaders for the future. Thank you. Next, we're going to have Ben Rainmaker give a speech on service.
Hi. It's lucky I get hate to go after Megan because service and leadership kind of go hand in hand, so it might kind of sound the same, but bear with me. So Jim George, the author of 37 books, says that serving others prepares you to lead others. As I found out in every English class I've ever taken, authors can mean 873 different things with a single sentence. Knowing that, I imagine it relates to our chapter of the National Honor Society. Serving others prepares you to lead others. Furthermore, Benjamin Franklin writes that by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So if I'm going to combine the quotes, it says that leadership without service is set up to fail. I may be a familiar face to a couple of you in the audience tonight, not because of anything I've done here at Neenah, but actually because I work at Culver's down the road, and you may have seen me there. I started working there in May of my 8th grade year and haven't really had a good reason to leave since. Without Culver's, I wouldn't really have the stories of outrageous customers, none of them being you, obviously, ever. I wouldn't have experiences of crazy busy Friday nights where people stand shoulder to shoulder in our lobby or our drive-through line wraps around the building. And honestly, without this job, I wouldn't have like the best class that I've ever taken in high school. Because for me, my job has been just that. And that's mostly because my teachers were the delightful guests, kindly shouting things loud in my face, just to make sure I heard them. Anyway, and because through all these bizarre occurrences, I learned how to serve a specific audience. That audience being Culver's customers. And it furthermore made me realize the stark contrast between the types of services, such as community, personal, and business. I tell you all this about me because I want to assure you, with all my knowledge and experience, that service is hard. It assumes so many different roles, it's impossible to serve everybody identically. Nonetheless, with an openness to adaptation, diverse service is entirely possible. This is a goal to strive for. To contain the knowledge that allows you to utilize yourself and your talents in multiple circumstances. The best leaders are those whose service spread throughout each corner of a community, city, state, or country. As members of this organization, we must strive to be these leaders. But first, we have to prepare ourselves. For our chapter, this speaks directly to the foundation of our leadership within our environments. Without the humility that accompanies sacrificing self-benefaction, how should we approach establishing the atmosphere of our community and school? Too often, our answer is to approach leadership with ourselves in focus. Unconsciously, we view ourselves as the teacher and imagine what others may learn from us. Unfortunately for our human nature, philosophy is exactly what the old smart guys from the beginning of this speech warn us about. Because if, for example, I'm always right, why do I need a leader? And if I'm always right, who cares what anyone else has to say? But in opposition to my instincts, I could, after all, learn from someone else. By serving one another, we come as close to empathy as humanly attainable. Because through serving another, we submit ourselves to their world, their trouble, and need. We gain from these experiences understanding and this knowledge of a person or a community or a school, and it equips us to lead with the greatest success. Thus, the pillar of service in the National Honor Society holds such a key component within our philosophy. Admittedly, however, such an ability to lead on the premise of service rarely exists amongst high schoolers. This speaks as a true compliment to the inductees tonight. Each one has demonstrated an ability to put others before themselves and lead in a manner that highlights the good surrounding them rather than within them. Much of this ability found in our members derives from volunteering. Our chapter here at Neenah High School strives to become as involved as possible in multiple aspects of our city. Through this drive, we have the opportunity to take advantage, but this advantage spreads beyond an hour spent behind a concession stand. It spreads into our lives and the way we interact with others. Should we maintain this outward focus, we automatically set ourselves up to lead. Therefore, as you leave here tonight as members of the National Honor Society, keep your eyes up and on the community. See the ways you can serve it through organized volunteering, but also look beyond into any way you can set yourselves apart as successful leaders through the act of service. Understand that when it comes to leadership, we aren't the teacher, but rather the student. We rely on the understanding of those we want to lead, and the only way to acquire this is through serving them. So take advantage of the opportunities in your future, allow for growth and improvement, and do not fail to prepare yourself for your astounding future as a leader. Next to talk about scholarship, we're gonna have Montana come up here. Thank you.
National Honor Society defines scholarship as the following. Scholarship is a commitment to learning and growing on an educational path. It means making the most of educational opportunities provided and seeking out learning, not only in school or in similar settings, but also personally. Everyday scholarship doesn't require a minimum GPA, but it does require effort. And more importantly, it stems from a desire to contribute to this world in a positive way by building on one's own knowledge, skills, and talent through different experiences. That's a pretty long definition, so I'm going to break it down a little bit. The first part says that scholarship means making the most of educational opportunities provided and seeking out learning. That can be pretty easy for a student here at Neenah to do because of all the opportunities we do have. We have plenty of classes here at school, from interior design to Calculus 3, and we have academies even for students who are interested in careers like engineering or health. So whether you want to go to a workplace right away, a tech school, or four-year college, whatever you want to do, Neenah High School can prepare you for that. The next part says that everyday scholarship doesn't require a minimum GPA, but it does require effort. What I take away from this is, though, while they're important, it's not as much about the letter grade or the color that you get on an assignment. It's more about what you learn from that. I know I've definitely taken a lot during my years. I've learned a lot about time management and motivation, for example. I've done a lot of things and kept myself busy throughout my high school years. I've done show choir, work, volunteering, and heavy class loads. So I definitely have had to learn throughout the years to balance my own schedule. I've also had to learn a lot about motivation. I took AP Calculus BC last year, which is very difficult, and I definitely had to learn to keep pushing through things that were difficult and to motivate myself through that. And a lot of that motivation came from attaching a purpose to what I did. That leads me to the next part. So scholarships stem from a desire to contribute to this world in a positive way by building on one's own knowledge and skills. I believe this point kind of takes the previous ones we talked about and attaches a purpose to them. So students who practice the pillar of scholarship take advantage of their opportunities to better themselves. I'm taking AP Bio right now, which is a wonderful course provided by Neenah High School. Having this class under my belt will help me major in animal behavior and later work in conservation. Students who also practice this pillar use the skills that they gain from school to better the world. I've also gained critical thinking, amongst some other things, and with that, I've been able to lead a project at my job that ensures safety and communication among the staff. Scholarship has greatly affected my life, as I'm sure it has for many of the people here today. So congratulations to all my peers who are getting inducted today. Now up next will be Malia to talk about character.
Okay, congratulations to everyone on your achievements, which have allowed you to be here tonight among the accomplished of Neenah High School. And of course, a big thank you and congratulations to the parents and educators that have set the standards for you to rise into a position of service, scholarship, leadership, and character. Character is the most elemental quality that a National Honor Society member possesses. A person's character isn't measured at one instant in time, but along the continuum of one's life. The right decision is rarely the easy choice one must make, and our ability to make difficult choices is the truest measure of ourselves, and is something that we must practice with utmost fidelity. True character is being able to accept responsibility when we fail, and in doing so, pave the way for our future successes. My advice to incoming members: be a person of character no matter where you are. Now don't mistake what I'm trying to say as being perfect. No one expects perfection. At this time in our lives, we take a lot of risks, and sometimes those risks end up as mistakes. However, it's how we react to our mistakes that define our character. Character is defined as a collection of features and traits that form the individual nature of some person or thing. Being here tonight sets the standard or continues the standard for your character. While being inducted to National Honor Society is an award for your character, it is also an opportunity for you to continue setting standards, goals, and continuing on the road to success. Our character defines much of who we are, how we think, why we act, and what we say or do. Our character is shown by what we do when no one else is around. Our character gives us a sense of right and wrong and the courage to do and choose what is right. Your ability may get you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there. Your character started forming years ago, and it is being molded and fine-tuned as we speak. Character is a trait that is at the core of National Honor Society. It is the genesis of service, scholarship, and leadership. Ultimately, character is defined by a chain of actions made that comprise you. As Aristotle said, excellence is not a singular act, it's a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. Tonight, I hope that you are able to reflect on the standards that you have set for yourself. At day's end, have you made all of the right choices? Do you repeatedly do what represents excellence? When you stumble, are you able to pick yourself up and carry on with integrity? More importantly, what are your actions and habits when no one is looking? When it comes to character, it is not based on what someone tells you to be or what your friends and classmates think, but instead it's about knowing what is right and following it. It's about setting goals and achieving them for yourself. Tonight, I hope you made a commitment to yourself to make your actions and habits fulfill a life and legacy of excellence. I hope you take your induction into National Honor Society as a challenge to be a greater student, role model, and person. As you step forward in life, remember the wise words of Gandhi. Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Once again, congratulations on your accomplishments thus far and for being an example as to what character is and should be. Thank you.
It's not a trig candle. She gave it her best effort. All right. Thank you once again to Megan, Ben, Montana, and Malia for their perspectives on the 4 pillars of National Honor Society. Now we will move on to the presentation of certificates. Will the first row of inductees please rise?
All right, we're just going to ask you to please hold the applause to the end. Chloe Abbey. Chloe is a Sunday school teacher and youth group leader at her church. Chloe also volunteers her time in the summer at Camp Awesome. Trenton Bauer. Trenton is involved in salt, launch, cross country, and track. He enjoys taking courses in the business and social studies fields. Caitlin Blattner. Caitlin volunteers at the Brigade and Best Friends Mentoring Program. She also co-leads STEM Club at Brigade. Natalie Blumhoff. Natalie is involved in student government, launch, and full stop.
As well, she helps out with mental awareness group and is on the swim and dive team. Bo Vishal Walter. Bo is involved in launch, vintage, and the Key Club. He enjoys being outside and being active. Siri Brandt. Siri is involved in salt, girls lacrosse, mock trial, and DECA. She also loves to spend time outside or with her pets in her free time. Ariana Brown. Ariana is a junior and is involved with the music program at Neenah along with Key Club. She also loves volunteering at her church with music and elementary school kids and is enjoying being now involved in National Honor Society. Ella Buksick. Ella is involved in volleyball, launch, salt, reach for the stars, best friends, young life, and her church youth group. Montana Cobain. Montana is a senior at Neenah High School. She has been involved in many activities such as math team, the school newspaper, and show choir. She spends time volunteering at the Bay Beach Wildlife Sanctuary. Afton Condon. Afton is involved in many things, including salt, launch, stop, Key Club, and cross country. She enjoys the outdoors and spending time with friends. Afton is honored to be a part of National Honor Society this year. Emily Denzine. Emily is in cross country and lacrosse. She also participates in various clubs throughout the year. Outside of school, she volunteers at Brigade, her church, and throughout the community. Josie Denzine. Josie is on the swim team and in the Health Careers Academy. Owen Ebelt. Owen is involved with Brigade, Health Careers Academy, is working at Festival Foods, and working at Lambeau Field for the Green Bay Packers. He wants to go to school for athletic training. Gwyneth Ellinger. Gwyneth is involved in the Health Careers Academy and loves spending time with family. She is going to college to become a doctor in the future. Maya Ellis. Maya is very involved in Brigade and loves spending time with friends and family. She is looking into studying psychology at UW-Madison or Marquette University next year. Gabby Fable. Gabby is involved in basketball, salt, launch, and Key Club. Maddie Fisher. Maddie is involved in basketball, soccer, and sources of strength. Natalie Flom. Natalie is involved in soccer, swimming, launch, and the Health Careers Academy. Brady Frost. Brady plays volleyball, basketball, and baseball. He is involved in salt, chamber choir, and the math team. Zoe Galinsky. Zoe is involved in many things, such as Eco Club, student government, best friends, and school board. Jaden Hegbarth. Jaden is on the Neenah baseball team, salt, and has a golden retriever. Grace Hagner. Grace is involved in volleyball, lacrosse, visual arts classics, and the Health Careers Academy. Colin Hansen. Colin is involved with boys soccer, Key Club, and mock trial. In the community, he volunteers at the Boys and Girls Brigade and at his church, St. Patrick's Parish. Michael Hassler. Michael is involved in launch and is on the hockey and lacrosse teams at school. During his free time, he likes being outdoors and skating on frozen ponds in the winter. Raina Hine. Raina runs cross country, is president of the Chinese club, and volunteers through her piano studio. Anna Horn. Anna is involved in vintage show choir, forensics, youth board, and is involved in Neenah High School's drama club and productions. She is excited for her first year in National Honor Society.
Ben Jones. Ben is a member of Eco Club and captain of the lacrosse team.
He enjoys being outdoors and spending time at his cabin. Rosie Keating. Rosie Keating is involved in DECA, Eco Club, and student government. During the school year, she works part-time at Broken Tree Pizza, and in the summer, she works at YMCA Nana Bo Show. Jack Keller. This year, Jack is a junior, and at school, he is involved in cross-country, tennis, and touch of class. Outside of school, he is a co-leader at the brigade. Leah King. A junior at Neenah High School, Leah is very involved in vintage show choir, key club, launch, and debate. Outside of school, she enjoys volunteering in her church and the community. Adam Kohlmeyer. Adam Kohlmeyer is a launch leader and a varsity basketball player. He also helps out at the Special Olympics events. Mitchell Latanzia. Mitchell takes Calc 3, and that is a lot of fun for him. Mitchell is also in DECA, chess, and plays the bass and piano. Nathan Lee. Nathan Lee is involved in launch and salt. He is also on the varsity football team. Gavin Llewellyn. Gavin is involved in the Manufacturing and Engineering Academy, is volunteering at Camp Luther, and is captain of the 2019 cross-country team and the 2020 lacrosse team. He also enjoys running. Bree Lorcher. Bree Lorcher is involved in Key Club and the Health Careers Academy. Along with that, she also plays volleyball. Garrett Lubke. Garrett is a member of the basketball team as well as the fishing team. These two activities are what you can find Garrett doing during the winter months. Maggie Mantell. Maggie Mantell is a junior at Neenah High School and has made it a priority to take advantage of the opportunities Neenah High School offers. Maggie is involved in Key Club, Best Friends Club, Launch, SALT, Student Government, Vintage Show Choir, and now National Honor Society. Maya McClone. Maya is involved in Reaching for the Stars, STOP, and Best Friends at the high school. Peyton McClowry. Peyton plays football and baseball and enjoys watching NHN hockey games. He is also involved in the Student Activities Leadership Team, Launch, Ski Club, and RCF. Thomas McDonald. Thomas McDonald is a part of Neenah Soccer, Reach for the Stars, and Mock Trial. He enjoys the beach and warm weather. Katie McKenzie. Katie McKenzie is involved with Key Club, Eco Club, and Best Friends. Along with that, she plays lacrosse. Michael Monroe. Michael is the captain of the basketball team and helps with young basketball players in the summer. Kendra Navas. Kendra is involved in SALT, Student Council, Key Club, Launch, and also plays softball. Megan O'Keefe. Megan is involved in debate, forensics, Key Club, the Brigade, Youth in Government, Full Stop, lacrosse, Symphony Orchestra, French Club, Launch, and the United Way Youth Board. Margaret Oldenburg. Margaret is involved in volleyball, Sources of Strength, Key Club, Young Life, Reach for the Stars, Best Friends, and now NHS. Sadie Ortiz. Sadie is involved in lacrosse, Best Friends, and Young Life. Clara Pageant. Clara Pageant is a vice president of DECA and is involved with Eco Club, Key Club, and lacrosse. Lexi Radice. Lexi is involved in volleyball, basketball, track, and Key Club. Emma Runquist. Emma is involved in SALT, DECA, Key Club, Launch, and plays soccer. Ella Schroeder. Ella is involved in many things, including basketball, SALT, Launch, and Sources of Strength. Kirsten Schroeder. Kirsten is involved in Brigade and Touch of Class and will be traveling to Scotland with them this summer. Jacob Schwartz. Jacob is captain of the chess team, captain of the debate team, captain of forensics team, and on the math team. Zachary Shea. Zachary is involved in Launch, Sources of Strength, Key Club, and is a second-degree black belt. Maria Sorensen. Maria is involved in Launch, SALT, girls soccer, and this past year was the team manager for girls cross country. Olivia Underhill. Olivia is involved with swim team, French club, Full Stop, Brigade, and Best Friends Mentoring. Isabel Yablonsky. Isabel is involved in Key Club, DECA, Eco Club, SALT, Launch, Reach for the Stars, and lacrosse. Zachary Zieger. Zachary Zieger is on the Neenah boys soccer and track teams. He is also involved as a Special Olympics volunteer and a launch leader.
All right, congratulations to our newest members of National. I hope you guys read the fine print when signing. I'm just kidding, there isn't a fine print. It's just a book. All right, will all members of National Honor Society please rise for the saying of the NHS pledge? I pledge to maintain high scholastic standing, to hold as fundamental and worthy an untarnished character, to endeavor intelligently and courageously, to be a leader, and to give myself freely in service to others. In doing so, I shall prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society. Good job, you guys. You guys can sit down. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for coming out to celebrate the extraordinary achievement of these students. To our newest inductees, I hope you continue to demonstrate the values of leadership, service, scholarship, and character which got you here today. Continue to be leaders within your classrooms and within our community. Finally, never settle for anything less than being the best version of yourself. To the parents and friends in the audience, please continue to support these students by celebrating their victories, but also by pushing them to achieve even greater things. Inductees, if you would like to begin filing off stage, I'd like to invite everyone to join us for refreshments in the cafeteria. Thank you and happy holidays.